Doctor Who returns to our screens where Clara and the Doctor take on the universe in Series 7, Part 2.
What happened to me?
Don't you remember?
You are the only mystery worth solving.
Right then, Clara Oswald. Time to find out who you are.
Run, you clever boy.
You have no idea.
Now, I am a huge fan of Doctor Who. It's been part of my life for as long as I can remember. If I'm honest, it is one of the first shows I really could get into, and I've watched it for so long now. So it has a special place in my heart. I especially like Series 1 to around Series 5. Series 6 was okay, and then there was Series 7 Part 1. I think we can agree that Series 7 Part 1 was pretty dreadful. I just didn't like how Stephen Moffat wrote Matt Smith into Doctor Who, how he made him very silly. I know each Doctor's meant to be different, but they just made him too silly, and with people like David Tennant and especially Christopher Eccleston, you could have such powerful, serious scenes, and then Matt Smith is... I just didn't like how Stephen Moffat wrote him in Series 7, Part 1. Don't get me wrong, Matt Smith is good. He's in Series, I think, 5 and 6, he's brilliant, loved him. It's just he slowly got worse. And I don't think it's Matt Smith, I think it's just how Stephen Moffat writes it, so that's what I have against the newer Doctor Who. But I gave Series 7 Part 2 the benefit of the doubt, and I decided to give it a go. After watching the series as a whole, I can honestly say I think it is very mixed. There is good episodes and there are bad episodes. There's nothing that really made me go, oh wow, like that just blew me away. Maybe an exception would be the last episode of the series, which I will eventually get to. Like I said, some of the episodes had its like ups and downs, some were better than others. I was interested about finding out the whole Clara thing, and you know, why she was in the Christmas episode and Silent of the Daleks, and like what her character is about and why she keeps appearing in the Doctor's timeline. Honestly, I think Jenna Louise Coleman, if that's how you pronounce it, who is playing Clara, is a very weak actress. I don't know if it's her acting or the way she's written, but some of the stuff she says is very sloppy, very all over the place, too fast paced, and it just looks a mess. She responds to what people say too quickly, and it just looks unnatural. It just looks like it's very forced, like she's trying to, you know, get the lines over with, you know, hurrying up the process. And overall, it took me out of the experience. One of the only reasons I put up with Clara is because she's insanely hot, and if you disagree, you're probably a homosexual. Some episodes were better than others. Some were just like, I thought halfway through the episode I was like, nothing's really gone on, like how many minutes left yet? And I see there was like 5 minutes left of the episode, especially the second episode of the series. I just thought, what is this? Like nothing has happened. It was boring. I was excited to hear that Jason Watkins, who played Herrick in Being Human, was going to be in an episode. He was going to play a villain. That was in the episode just before the last one, so episode 5. And I thought, great, he's brilliant, he's terrifying in Being Human. And I've seen him in other stuff, and he's a brilliant actor, and he can go from, you know, comedy like Trolleyed to, you know, Being Human and stuff. And I thought, perfect choice for a villain. And he was in the episode for something like 5-10 minutes, and even then he probably only got about 5 minutes screen time. One thing I really hated in a few episodes were these two kids, I don't know their names, but basically Clara was like their nanny, or still is their nanny, and they just could not act to save their lives. They really, really sucked. I'm not even joking. And they start like finding Clara in like history books and stuff from when she's gone around with the Doctor somewhere, and they realise it's Clara. And then when she comes back, they say, oh, we've been finding you in all these history books, and like there's pictures of her, and like, oh, if you don't take us with you time travelling, we're gonna have to tell Dad. And she looks really like, you know, oh shit, no, what's gonna happen? Like the dad would genuinely believe that their nanny is a time traveller who goes around with an alien in a big blue box. Like, it was the dumbest thing ever. The boy in episode 5, he was like, oh, I'm scared of the dark, and he was going, I'm not scared of the dark, but you could tell he was scared of the dark, and it was like, as if he was trying to, you know, play like a 9-year-old, but he looked about 15, like, you could see the stubble of his moustache. I'm not even joking. And the girl was just frankly like a little shit. She was so annoying, and her character was annoying. It sort of seemed like they were written by someone who doesn't really know how teenagers talk. Then when all was lost, the series finale, episode 6, was actually not that bad. I actually got really like stuck into the storyline. I think Stephen Moffat really, is good at that kind of thing. He may do some very shit episodes, and then will, redeem himself in the last episode or something. Series 7 Part 1, when Rory and Amy die in the last episode, I thought that was very good. That was, it was sad. I really felt for the characters, and it did redeem itself slightly. But yeah, I liked how Stephen Moffat managed to tie things all together in the end, and it worked out pretty good. I like the whole concept of the last episode where they went to the Doctor's grave, and they're not allowed to go to the Doctor's grave because it's passing the Doctor's timeline. I thought that was a really good bit to add in, and the whole like entering the Doctor's timeline and bits of Clara being scattered around his past, and I thought that that was a pretty good concept. Also, it's pretty cool how they made little references here and there about like the very classic Doctor Who, like the back from like whenever it was like 50s onwards, because I find that they don't do that much. Like they don't really reference the old series. I thought it was good. It gave it something for the classic viewers, and also like catered for the new viewers. So overall, I'm giving Doctor Who Series 7 Part 2 a 2/3 stars, simply for the mixed episodes, the plots, the writing and the acting. So let's hope the 50th anniversary will be as good as we hope. What do you think? Do you think the Doctor's had his day, or do you think that it could go on for another like 11 series? Anyway, so what are your thoughts? Leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time.
I've seen bigger.
Really?
Are you joking? It's massive.
I am the Doctor.
And I am afraid.
Doctor Who on BBC One and BBC One HD.